Good morning, sports bettors. Matt Modi here with OddsJam, recording this early morning, Tuesday, December 13th, here to give you my NBA player prop best bets for today. So we got a couple NBA games today. I think we have 4 or 5, so not a huge array of player props available to us, but we still have some good ones. So let's get into it. The first play that I'm going to lock in here, pulled from the OddsJam positive expected value page, is Alperen Sengun under 23.5 points, plus 100 at Bet Rivers. This is in the Phoenix Suns versus Houston Rockets game. As you can see right here, Alperen Sengun obviously playing for the Rockets. So the play, like I mentioned, at plus 100, the math behind it, the reason why I like this one, the no vig odds that you see here price this at about minus 103, if we can round up for minus 102.84, and we're getting it basically 3 cents better, and by better I mean more favorable to the sports bettor, which is just a higher payout at plus 100. Basically saying, hey, we think the no vig odds and these odds are pulled from the sharpest sports books in the world, so it can be viewed as the true line of what a market should truly be priced at. All of those sharp sports books are saying this bet will hit a little bit above 50% of the time, right? About 50.7% of the time. All odds have a win percentage associated with them. So it's kind of cool. You can actually calculate from the odds what percent chance sports books are giving a bet to hit. You just have to remove the vig. In this case, like I said, the best sports books in the world think that this is going to hit roughly 50.7% of the time. Plus 100 odds needs to hit 50% of the time to break even. Anything more than that is profitable. So if it hits 50.7% of the time, we are making money. So that's the bet, and that's the math behind it. All in all, equates to a profit margin of just 1.4%. So not a huge EV percent, but still a really good play. And here's why. So if you click open a play, as I have done here, it pulls up where every sportsbook is pricing this individual play of the under 23.5, which is what obviously we are betting. And you just want to compare it to the rest of the sports books. So in terms of player props, there are 3 that you want to look for to kind of set the market basically. And if the bet that you are placing is an outlier to these 3, then that is an example of a good bet. So in this case, Pinnacle prices the under at minus 118. They price the over at minus 112. So if you just look at those 2 numbers, over at minus 112, under at minus 118, they are favoring this play going under. They think the under is the more likely scenario, so they're making it a little bit more expensive to buy, right? Keep in mind, we're getting this at plus 100. Bet online, same thing. They have the over at minus 110. They have the under at minus 118, favoring it going under. And Bet online is the second sportsbook that you want to look at in terms of pricing odds. The third one, DraftKings, same thing, favoring the under, and they have, they have it as the most favorable with the under at minus 120 and the over at minus 110. And then the other sportsbook that prices it, Caesars, minus 119, the over at minus 115, favoring the under. Every single sportsbook that is pricing odds for this play, and you could ignore Underdog and Prize Picks because they're DFS companies that have the same implied odds for every play. Every single sportsbook that is pricing this has the under as the favorite outcome, the more likely scenario, except for Bet Rivers giving it to us at plus 100. So this is why I like this and why I think it's such a good play. So to confirm, Alperen Sengun under 23.5 points, rebounds, assists, plus 100 odds at Bet Rivers. Can also get that at Barstool, Unibet, and TwinSpires. And then it's in the Phoenix Suns versus Houston Rockets game. That's my second play. That's my first play. My second play is this Eric Gordon in the same game, over 1.5 made threes, plus 102 at Bet Rivers. So we're getting it a little bit above plus 100 here. So if the bet does hit 50% of the time, we are profitable. And based on the no vig odds that OddsJam calculates, pulled from the sharpest sports books in the world, this bet will hit a little bit less than 50% of the time. We'll hit roughly 49.9% of the time. But the implied odds of plus 102, if you want to calculate that, you just go to calculators, no vig fair odds calculator. Wrong one. You go to odds converter calculator. You type in plus 102, that has a win percentage of 49.50. So if this bet does hit 49.9% of the time, which is just calculated to confirm from this plus 100.42 right here, then we're profitable. And that's where your profit margin comes from, right here, 0.79%. So again, a lower play, but still a good one. Look at where the sportsbooks price it. So every sportsbook either has it at 50-50, which is PointsBet, DraftKings, it's FanDuel, BetOnline, or they favor it going over, which is what, again, we are taking at plus 102. And that would be Pinnacle and Caesars, favoring it going over at plus 102. So this is another example where we're taking a play plus money, plus 100, plus 102, where the majority of sportsbooks have it as the favored outcome, or at least 50-50 to occur. So we're getting it at plus 102, which means if it does hit 50% of the time, we are making money. So this is my second play, Eric Gordon over 1.5 player made threes, plus 102, again at BetRivers / Barstool Unibet and TwinSpires. In the Suns versus Rockets game, another Rockets player. And then the last player prop that I'm going to lock in today, Warriors versus Bucks. Awesome game we have going on tonight. We're taking Klay Thompson to go under 21.5 points, minus 104 at same sportsbooks. BetRivers, Barstool, Unibet, TwinSpires. So the no big odds that OddsJam calculates has this at about minus 105.5, essentially minus 107. Again, these odds are pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world in terms of pricing odds, the sportsbooks that historically do the best job. Then the vig is removed, and you see the odds right here on the screen, minus 105.65. BetRivers is giving it to us at minus 104. It's a positive expected value play. All in all, profit margin of 0.77%. But again, what you want to do, you want to look into the markets and you want to see where every other sportsbook is pricing it, especially the main three. Pinnacle, heavily favoring the under, minus 106, the over at minus 105. BetOnline, heavily favoring the under at minus 122, the over at minus 106. DraftKings, heavily favoring the under at minus 125, the over at minus 105. And then if you look at the other sportsbook, like PointsBet has it at 50-50. Caesars heavily favors the under. FanDuel slightly favors the under. But all in all, a really good play at this one at minus 104 odds. So it's going to be my third and final player prop for today. Klay Thompson under 21.5 points, minus 104 odds at BetRivers. And those other three. And the Warriors versus Bucks game, obviously Klay plays for the Warriors. And that's it. 3 NBA player props for you guys today. If you are tailing any and all three of these, comment and let me know. Would love to hear it. Other than that, would appreciate if you could like the video, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. Helps me out a ton. And that's it. So enjoy the games tonight. Happy betting, happy watching, and good luck.